Well, number one, I hear it all the time, is taxes. Taxes. The taxes are high. 48% of our property is non-taxable because it's either county property or state property or schools or churches. So, what can we do about that? That is a major complaint of all citizens. Another complaint is our blight enforcement, is the continued even-handed, friendly, consistent blight enforcement. We can't enforce it over in this neighborhood and then not enforce it in this neighborhood. And I see examples of that. I think that is a major problem. The other thing we hear about all the time are the roads. There is very little that we can do to repave whole roads, especially local streets, but that is a concern. And some of the streets, we had a PACER report, a public, assessment report on our streets, and 3/4 of our streets are rated, fair or below. So we really, really need to get, something done with that. And the last thing, the city commission has no say over the running of the Mount Clemens Public Schools. But I think the city commission can partner better with the schools and offer some assistance and some help. And so those, I think, are really our major problem. To help with the taxes, there's two things. Number one, I don't think we market this city very well. I don't think that we have anybody from the city out there going, hey, these are our demographics. This is our open floor space. This is what assistance is available. This is what the DDA does. This is what the city can do for you. We have nobody out there waving the wand and saying, hey, come on in. Now, we've contracted with the County Planning and Economic Development Department to assist us in that, but they are not, driving marketing. They're not, they have brought us some people, and they were very instrumental in the pandemic when they had that program where they were handing out checks. They were very instrumental and very important in keeping our businesses, alive. But we need better. And now that we have a new logo and we have a new mission statement and stuff, it's important that we have somebody out there saying, come on, come and see what we can do. Come and see what we have available. Come and see the open spaces. Come and sit down and let's talk about, what permits you need and what kind of inspections, and make this a friendlier, more open process. I think that the other part of that is the county, right? Because they take up so much property, I had the idea that we give the county kind of like informational billing, right? So with the courthouse, somebody doesn't want to pay their child support. So what do? They pull the fire alarm, or they call in a bomb threat. That's happened multiple times. We have to send the fire department, because it's a multi-story fire department, we have to send the ladder truck. So if you look at, let's just say a firefighter's $250 an hour, the ladder truck's $500. So you got 1 hour in, you got $1,000 there, because you got 4 firefighters. So if it takes you more than an hour to clear that building, you got a couple $1,000s there. We cannot bill the county for that, but I think that we should send them a little note saying, hey, we responded to this fire alarm. This is what it cost us. So what services can you help provide? The services to the county already, it gives to, other communities, like assessing. They would provide assessing for Washington and Macomb and a couple other communities. They could provide it for us too. We would not then have to pay that salary, and we would get some value back from the county. The other thing is in talking about the schools, I wanted to invite either the school superintendent or the school board member to come to city commission when we get the quarterly reports and tell us what's going on in the school. What activities are happening? How can the city help advertise them? How can the city, get our other service groups to come in and join? What can we do to facilitate a more open relationship, a more cohesive relationship, without stepping on the school board's toes and trying to say, we want to run this. We don't. You have a school board. We just want to help. At least I just want to help. I think the waterfront is a major asset. It quite frankly, it angers me, and it has always angered me that we have a parking lot on the waterfront. Does that make any sense? It does not. So I think that developing the East Bank, seeing what we can do, what can we do with that property? We need a feasibility study. Will this property be better off as condos with high-end boats, high-end condos with boat slips? Can we put a boutique hotel down there, like a bed and breakfast thing? Because everybody now is going all the way out to Hall Road down Holland Gratiot, or way down further Hall Road when they come for probate and other court services. So why can't we have them stay here, walk up to town for dinner? I think that, with that property, it could be developed into a taxable base without marginalizing, city services, without marginalizing the fire department. I have talked to the fire department, and they think that they'd be better off in between the two Gratiots, in between northbound and southbound. It would be much better access and exit from a building if it was in between the two. And there are grants that are available. Chief Shipman has looked at those in the past. So I think the waterfront development on the East Bank could be very important to the city. And people would have to keep in mind that when we looked at this before, developers don't want to be responsible for the seawall. There will be a easement along the boardwalk and along the seawall where the city would still have access to that and still be responsible for it. So it's really not taking away from the residents, to use that property. And where do you want to put City Hall? Why not in the school? Why not in the high school? Almost two floors, I think, that are empty. You've got kids that need community service, credits to graduate. We can teach them a skill while they are, earning their credits. I just think a more symbiotic relationship here would be fantastic. It would bring some revenue to the school by, we pay rent and help pay for cleaning and stuff. It would bring people into the school, and it would allow us to develop the waterfront property. So the waterfront is one, and again, better marketing. Right now, our community development director is in charge of all permits, all blights, and he's the executive director of the DDA. In addition, he does whatever marketing he can. It's just simply too much. I think that job needs to be split, and you need to have one person doing community and economic development, business attraction, business retention, and you've got and have somebody else be in charge of permits and inspections. I think that it would even out some of the blight complaints. I think that it would help bring a better marketing presence to the city. Watch the commission meetings. You should know, or you should see that I do my homework. I read these packages. Some people have joked that I read them, 2 and 3 times. I ask questions. I, want to know information before we make a decision. I think that if you are not going to do that, if you are not going to follow through, then, why be on commission? I think that over the last years, people have seen how I react to things, how I respond to things, and hopefully, appreciate the fact that, I don't let stuff go. I ask the questions. I'll take the hits where I have to, but I will not vote just to get along. I vote on how I believe it'll it'll affect residents. And keeping in mind, I am a resident too. I think that I have a pretty good track record of listening to residents and responding to their concerns. I believe that there are three reasons, people run for commission or for any political office, and one of those is because people simply need attention. Another is because people are angry about something, and quite frankly, I ended up on commission because I was angry about something. And I think the other reason is that there are some people who truly believe that they serve their communities, and I believe that Bill Ford and Roger Button believe that, and I think that they did the best jobs that they could, and their hearts were in the right places. And it was kind of a funny thing that when Roger Button left, Roger and I went back and forth and butted heads, on a regular basis. But when Roger left commission, he came to me and he said, we didn't always agree, but I have come to realize that you care. You care about the city. And that's basically why you should vote for me, because I care.